A portion of this video is brought to you by PPA. A couple weeks ago, I picked up the brand new Ricoh GR3 Diary Edition, and one of the first film recipes that I found was a digital recreation of the Kodak Portra 400. And after snapping a few photos with this recipe, I was in love. I love that rich, warm look, that golden tone, those pops of red, and I just got so excited to shoot more with it, so I took it to a place where I knew fit the vibe. Tokyo Disney Sea. First off, credit where credit is due. The original guy who recreated this film look is Tom from Tomasography.com, and the exact settings were shared on Reddit. And Tom, buddy, I just really want to personally thank you for making this period of photography for me incredibly fun. I mean, just look at the colors on these, man. I'm really loving the warm, creamy latte vibe in every single one of these photos. And earlier I said how much the red popped, but I also really love how this recipe handled the blues as well. Particularly the sky, nicely muted, and with the denim jacket Vivian was wearing, it really gives off that mid-90s look. The greens are not overly saturated, the hue leans more towards the warmer side, contributing to the overall warm tone that I was praising earlier. And the crazy thing is, I didn't edit a single one of these photos, all straight out of camera with this recipe. So why Tokyo Disney Sea? Well, it has a lot of areas that have that kind of color scheme and architecture that would perform well with Tom's Portra 400. For one, Mediterranean Harbor has a small Venetian theme port, lots of buildings with pastel colors. Arabian coast and Aladdin theme area worked out really well. I mean, come on, desert, sand, those warm tones are just practically screaming at us right now. Hell, even American waterfront looked pretty damn good, particularly the Tower of Terror. More like Tower of Portra, am I right? That pun didn't work out too well. Let me just change that really quick. Coming up next, I get into the conditions of when and where this recipe works the best and the potential shortcomings of it. But first, we would like to thank PPA for keeping this channel alive so I can keep sharing more free photo and video knowledge to the world. As a 3-year PPA member now, PPA provides numerous benefits for professional photographers and business owners. The moment you become a member, you get up to $15,000 worth of gear insurance. And that means you get full replacement coverage with a flat $350 deductible, or you can repair your equipment with a flat $50 deductible. They also offer data loss, negligence, and malpractice protection with their indemnification trust. All of this and their amazing online education platform for just under $28 a month. And when you're ready to become a member, you can use my link to save $25 off your membership when you sign up. Thanks for listening. Now, on with the show. Now, one of the things that really surprised me was that I didn't have to wait until sunset to get amazing shots like I normally do. A lot of the photos that I got at Disney Sea was actually during high noon where the sun was at peak brightness, harsh lighting everywhere. But the GR3 and Tom's Portra recipe handle all those super exposed areas just beautifully. Nothing was clipping, and despite shooting in the direction of harsh light, my shadows are very much present. Now, I already brought this up earlier, but man, do I get excited whenever I see reds and blues because I know they would perform well with this recipes. But I wish I've gotten a chance to do more portraits of the cast member at Disney Sea, but for whatever reason, they don't really stay put like the ones at Disneyland back in California. I mean, just look at this Jafar running away from me. It probably didn't help that I kept screaming, "He's red! He's red! He's word red! Get him!" as I'm chasing after him. But the one that I did manage to get was Peter Pan and Wendy, and man, do they look good. The skin tones just looks absolutely amazing. And I guess the fur tones too, if we look at Chip and Dale. Now, since this isn't a bokeh heavy camera, I wasn't concerned shooting wide open at f2.8 all the time. In fact, I stopped down to f8 and even sunny f16 because it's so bright, and I utilize snap distance focusing rather than the autofocus, and just makes snapping random moments so much more faster. Man, I can see why street photographers love this camera. And because this is a digital camera simulating film, we get all that nice modern day perks such as IBIS and ND filter. I love creating these soft motion blur of the other park goers. I like to title this collection Disney Sea of People. And finally, let's talk about the shortcomings of the Portra recipe. Now, I've gotten feedbacks that this might look too warm for Portra, and that might be because the recipe recommended the shade white balance. Regardless, I still very much enjoy this look. However, I can admit it does look too warm when we shoot around golden hour, and that's always been the best time for me to capture some great photos. But with this recipe, if the subject is just bathing in that rich orange glow from the sun, it will end up looking too orange in the photo. And I've tried subbing out a different white balance in the raw development, but it just doesn't have quite the same feel for some reason. But that just means I know when to utilize this Portra 400, and this will permanently live on my dial on my GR3. If you know any fun recipes that you would like me to try, let me know in the comments or join my Discord and Facebook group. And if you enjoy the resources that I've been putting out on this channel, consider supporting via a super thanks. Check out PPA via the link down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Pew, pew. Peace.